What's up, guys? We are back with another video. This one is 20 Pro Tools key commands that I wish I would have learned sooner because it would have saved me so much time. Whether you're a beginner, whether you've been using Pro Tools for a while, I know this is going to be really beneficial for you and that you'll definitely learn something new. There are some absolute gems in this video, so I highly encourage you to stay until the end and you will gain all that time back and all the time you save using these commands in Pro Tools. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, click the like button, hit the bells to get notified, and drop a comment to let us know what you think and which commands you enjoyed the most. And right before we dive in, I want to let you guys know about my free ebook. It's called The Ultimate Home Studio Setup Guide for Beginners. It's going to absolutely blow your mind. If you're new to setting up a home studio for the first time, this guide is going to absolutely break down exactly how everything works, give you some suggestions for gear that I can recommend, and really explain how all these elements work together and really demystify the home studio so it's not so scary. Go download that now. I know you're gonna love it. All right, so let's dive in. I should say first that a couple of these commands that might involve scrolling are sometimes optimized for a mouse or a trackball. So if you're using a trackpad, it may be slightly different on those. I'm also using a Mac, so if you're on a Windows or PC, you might want to switch out the Option command with Alt and maybe make a couple tweaks. But for the most part, these are universal commands, and I think you're going to love it. Let's dive in. All right, guys, so we've hopped into the DAW. I've got a session open here of a song that I produced a little while ago, and it's a pretty blank session. It's mostly just an unmixed song with a bunch of tracks. So we're going to have a look at the commands in here. I'm going to start with navigation commands related to navigation. So the first one is going to be command equals, okay? Command equals. And what this does is switch us to our mixer page that looks like this, and command equals again will switch us back to our main page. So that's switching from mixer to main and main to mixer is command equals. All right, let's keep moving ahead. Next up, we have a command called N, okay? So I'm gonna hit the space bar and you'll see that the song is playing, okay? And when I pause, look what happened. It popped back to where this arrow is here. And the reason that does that is because I have this thing called insertion follows playback off. So if I turn this on using N, or alternatively clicking it, but you're gonna find N is a lot faster. When I pause, the song will keep playing when I start it again from exactly where it stopped, okay? It'll keep playing from here now. See that? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is turn N off and you'll see what happens. I'll pause and it'll go back to the same spot. So that's N, insertion follows playback. Let's keep moving ahead. The next one is gonna be a horizontal zoom, okay? So I'm gonna press Command square bracket. There's a left and a right square bracket. And when you press those, when you press the left one, it zooms out. When you press the right one, it zooms in, okay? So Command square bracket. An alternative to this is gonna be Option scroll, okay? And Option scroll also does that same horizontal zoom. I tend to use Option scroll because it feels faster for me. The next navigation command is going to be moving your cursor up and your cursor down on the tracks. This being the cursor right here. So I'm going to click semicolon to go down, okay? And I'm going to click P to go up. One last thing I should mention is that if you have this is like a key command button here. If you have that off, none of these are going to work. So make sure that you have this yellow key command button right here in the top right side. Make sure you have that on, okay? So that's the cursor down with semicolon and cursor up with P. Let's keep moving ahead. The next one is going to be the waveform size, okay? And one way we can change the waveform size, here, let's zoom out a little to get some perspective, okay? These are just a bunch of drums. One way you can do it is click up here and it'll zoom in and out on the waveforms. But a faster way to do it is Shift Option, okay? Shift Option and scroll. Check that out. Shift Option scroll. It's going to change your waveform size. That's going to be really handy. All right, let's keep moving ahead. Just got a couple more navigation commands. The next one is going to be to focus in on a specific part. So let's say I'm editing this snare right here, okay? I'm going to click Option F. Watch what happens. zooms me right in onto that snare that I'm editing. If I want to quickly zoom back out to gain perspective, I'm going to click Option A, okay? Keep in mind, this doesn't work if I don't have anything highlighted. So it has to be highlighted, and I'm going to click Option F, it'll zoom in, and Option A, it'll zoom out. All right, let's keep moving ahead. The next commands I want to show you are track related. So related to making tracks, doing cool stuff with tracks. The first one is going to be if we want to make a new track, okay? So here's how to quickly make a new track so you're not going up here to the menu, clicking a bunch of stuff. You can do this in like a second. So Shift Command, okay? Hold down Shift Command and N, all right? Shift Command N. That's the next one. It's going to bring up this new tracks window. Here's another command you got to know is now once this window's open, you're going to hold down Command and you're going to click the right arrow, okay? And the right arrow is going to make it stereo. If you're clicking up and down, okay, it's going to bring up the option for an aux track, master fader, okay, instrument track. Click the left arrow again, mono. So right and left is mono stereo, up and down is the type of track, okay? So that's really handy. And then all you need to do from there is hit OK, hit enter, and it'll create this stereo instrument track. Or let's say we just want like a mono audio track. There we go. Okay, so that's Shift Command N and Command arrows to do that track stuff. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is let's move down to this bass guitar here, okay? We got 4 bass guitars. Let's say I want to change the volume of all of them at once. Well, instead of going into each track and like changing the volume of each individual one by the same amount, what I wanna do is group the tracks and then I just do it once. So I'm gonna first I have to highlight them all, so check this out. Highlight. All right, now I'm going to hit Command G. It's going to bring up this grouping window. It's going to show currently in the group, here are these 4 bass tracks, and I got to name the group bass, okay? Now I'm going to click OK. You'll see in the bottom left here that these groups are actually off right now. So I'm going to use Shift Command G to turn the group on and off, okay? You got to also make sure it's highlighted for when you're doing the editing in it. So let's go to our mixer page here. You see these? Now that they are grouped, this moves together. And just what we learned 1 second ago, Shift Command G, that turns off the group. I can keep editing the volume like this, and then I'm gonna hit Shift Command G, and now you see they all move together again with that one volume up a little bit. So that's Command G to create the group, and Shift Command G to toggle the group on and off. You'll see that it gets grayed out here in this bottom corner. All right, so that's grouping. The next thing we're gonna do track related is duplicating a track. So let's say I want to, let's say I wanna duplicate this snare, okay? This snare right here. We're gonna go Shift, we're gonna click on it first, then we're gonna go Shift Option D. Okay, and this window comes up, it says duplicate tracks. Most of these will be checked off, okay? So what you're gonna do is see what you want included. Maybe I had a playlist on this first snare. I don't wanna duplicate the playlist, I just wanna duplicate the active playlist. I can toggle that off, but for now we'll leave these all on and I'm just gonna hit OK. It's gonna make an exact duplicate of that track. So all you're gonna do to duplicate, click on the track, okay? Just like this, click on the track, Shift Option D and OK, and you're gonna have a duplicate track, okay? That's duplicating tracks. Next, we're gonna move away from track-related things and we're gonna do some editing commands, okay? So let's move up here. The first editing command is gonna be to split a track. So let's say I got the snare here. I just wanna split the track. I'm gonna press B, okay? I'm gonna hit B and it's gonna split the track, okay? Let's do it again over here. I'm gonna press B, split the track. Then I can edit these pieces however I want, right? B, okay, cool. You got that one. The next one I'm gonna show you is A. So let's say with this snare enhancer track, all right? Let's say I want to remove all these snare enhancements up here, okay? So I'm just gonna go behind it. And if I click A, you're gonna love this because probably if you don't know, some of you will, but if you don't know this, what you've been doing up to this point is clicking B, clicking on this region and hitting delete. You can save all those clicks by just instead going to move your cursor where you want to go and click A. And what this does when you click A is that it cuts the region before the cursor. Same with hitting S. A and S, conveniently they're next to each other on the keyboard. If you click S, it'll cut everything after the cursor. There's cut all the region after the cursor up until the next edit point. So there's an edit point there from before. But if I don't have an edit point, watch, it'll cut off. I'm gonna click S, It'll cut off the whole rest of the song. So that's A and S. I absolutely love that command. I didn't know that one for a while, and once I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've wasted so much time. So I hope that helps. Let's keep moving on. The next one is going to be Command D. So let's go up here to this kick drum. Let's say I want this kick drum to continue through, this gap here, okay? I just noticed my BPM is off. I'm just going to change that quick to get this song on the right BPM. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, I have to make sure the BPM starts from the start of the song. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. We can see these kicks are now on the grid, okay? I'm going to make sure I'm in grid mode, okay? And what I'm going to do is highlight these kicks, and I'm going to click Command D. And what that'll do is it'll repeat it. This is to repeat a section is Command D. Check that out. Crazy, right? So now I got these kick drums going all through and just repeating themselves. That is just amazing. And I just did Command Z as undo. That's another command I should tell you right now. Command Z is undo. So here's Command D to do that. Let's say I want to undo that, just hitting Command Z, okay? Let's say I hit A, cut this region, Command Z will undo it, okay? So that's another one is repeat the track, and that's going to be Command D. Okay, I hope you like that. That's a pretty useful one. So you're not copying and pasting a bunch of stuff all the time. The next one is going to be, let's say I really liked this edit that I did. Okay, I went on these last 4 kicks. I went Command D a few times. Let's say I don't want to see these edits in this region anymore. What I can do is grab all of these, or grab whichever part I want to consolidate, and I can hit Shift Option 3. And what that does, Shift Option 3 is, well, you saw what it did. It now glued all those together and joined the regions as one. It consolidated. It kind of rendered it all together as one file. That's really handy. Shift Option 3, that just gets rid of your edits and just puts the track all smooth together again. The next one I'm going to show you is plugins, okay? So this is related to plugins, plugin commands. I'm really excited to show you guys these because I didn't know some of these for a while and I probably wasted a lot of time. So what I've done here is I've opened up some plugins on this Snare 1 track. I've just opened them up like that, right? You click here, you open up a plugin. I got a few of them going on here. So on this snare track, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to click on the plugin to open the window, okay? Now, what'll happen is if I click a different plugin, that window disappears. So here's the command I want to show you. Hold down Shift and click. And now you can have both windows up at the same time. Kind of cool, right? And I can work with both windows open. Maybe I even want a third plugin open. Hold Shift click, okay? Shift click, and that third plugin opens, okay? The next one that that's how to open multiple plugin windows. You have to hold Shift click and just click on the other plugin. You'll be able to see it. The next thing I want to show you is closing plugin windows, okay? So instead of now let's say I just want to close these, move on to a new part of the song. Instead of me clicking here, clicking on all these X's, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Option, Command, W. All gone, okay? That works for 3 plugins. It works for 1 plugin, Option, Command, W. Okay, that's super handy. It's going to save you a ton of time. The last one I want to show you is, I'm going to switch to my mixer view here for a sec. We're going to go to this track we were just on. See these inserts up here? If you press Control and click on a plugin, it bypasses. Same with Command, okay? But if I want, and so Command will just bypass the plugin. But if instead I click Control on a plugin above all of these, it's going to bypass the whole channel strip. So I'm going to now click Control again. Watch if I click Control on the second plugin, only the ones below it. So the plugin that I clicked on plus the ones below it, if I'm holding Control, they will bypass. So that's with Control. Okay, super handy. Hold Control and click on the top plugin, bypasses all of the plugins, okay? Or whichever plugin is below the one you clicked on. Just to bypass one in the middle, you hold Command and click like that, okay? That'll just bypass one of them, okay? So that's bypassing plugins. I think that's really, really handy. And the very last thing I want to show you guys in this video is a few automation plugins, okay? So Let's dive in here. The first one is good. I'm just staying on these drum tracks just to show you guys this stuff. The first one is going to be a quick access to volume automation. So right now we're in waveform view showing this waveform, but sometimes you might want to automate instead of like just making an overall volume movement like this. You might want to add volume automation. So you can go here like this. You can see I already have some automation in here. You can go to this window and do that. You can make automation moves. You can zoom in using the commands I showed you, write in automation, whatever. However, what I want to show you is a faster way to do that. Click on the track region, okay? And hold down Control and press minus on your keyboard. Switches to volume automation. So that's a quick access volume automation. Let's say I'm working down here on the snare, Control minus, okay? And that will show the volume automation for the track. Now let's take this one step further. Let's say that on this snare track here, I have a bunch of different options of automation. See how I can automate volume, I can automate mute, I can automate panning. What I'm gonna do is click Control Command, and I believe it is it right arrow? Yeah, okay. Control Command. I do it by muscle memory, and then you have to put it to words. So it's one of those things. Control Command right arrow. And watch what happens as I use right and left arrow. I can switch to volume. Now I can switch to the mute automation. Now I can switch to the pan left automation, the pan right automation. And if I use the left arrow, I can go back. So I'm holding Control and Command as I do that, and I can switch between them all. Whoops, and switch between them all quickly. So that's the next command. One last thing I want to show you guys for automation is I'm going to open up this plugin here. And what I can do is automate a parameter in any plugin using Control, Option, Command, click. So I'm going to hold Control, Option, Command, hold all three. I'm going to click. In this example, I'm going to automate this filter knob. So I'm going to click on the knob. And all you got to do is click Enable Automation for Filter. Okay? I'm going to click on that. And now, as part of these automations in here, I'm going to find filter, okay? It was right down here, filter, and now I can automate this filter. So watch what happens on this track. See that? It's being automated. So you can use this for builds or drops or whatever. Usually you wouldn't automate a snare that slowly, but you might. It depends what you're doing with your song. So that's automation. If I don't like that and I want to just get rid of the automation altogether, I'm just going to Control, Option, Command, click again and disable. You can also do this to bypass plugins. Let's say I want to take this compressor off just for this part of the song, okay? So I'm going to go here to master bypass, or I can use my Control Command right arrow to find my way there, okay? And I'm going to use this, okay? So just in this area, see how it bypassed? And over here, it's not bypassed. So the plugin bypasses once it crosses this little line here that I automated. See how it bypassed? So that's going to be really handy for you guys. That's Control, Option, Command, and click. Okay, so I'm going to disable this for now. It's going to remove, if I do this, it's going to remove all the automation. I'm just going to clean that out, but that's going to be really handy for automation for you guys. Very last thing in this video. I know I'm moving quick, but I want to make sure to give you guys as much as I can in this amount of time that we have. The last thing I want to do is show you two bonus key commands here. So the first one, let's just go back to the snare here. The first one is going to be strip silence. So let's say you recorded an instrument and in between maybe there's a bit of noise, or maybe you want clean edits on everything. I'm going to show you a command that's called Command U. Command U brings up the strip silence window, okay? And what this does is I can edit out all the silence between, maybe you want to use this on a vocal, maybe you want to use it on a kick drum. Super, super handy. In this case, I'm doing the snare. It's a sample snare, so there's not noise between it anyways, but this is just for example purposes. And what I can do here is change the threshold, okay? So it's going to adjust what's being captured here. And I can adjust the start. So I'm going to bring it right to the start of the transient. I'm going to go all the way there. But you might want to adjust this. If this is like a vocal edit, you might want to give it some space, right? And then I'm going to adjust the end, how far the tail of the edit goes. So let's just put it there for now. Now I'm going to click strip, okay? Remember, I use Command U to bring that window up. I'm going to click strip. Once I strip it, I can close this. And now I'm going to use Command F, okay? This is another plugin which is going to bring up another key command rather, which is going to bring up my fade window. And with Command F, I can adjust my automatic fades and click OK to apply automatic crossfades to everything. See how it crossfaded the beginning and the end? Obviously, when you do this, be thoughtful with it because you wouldn't want to cut off the beginning of the snare like that. But this is just for an example. So that's using Command F. You can see in my, so I'm going to highlight and I'm going to use Command F to bring up the fades. You can see with my fades, I have automatically the beginning a little shorter, the ending of the fade a little longer. That's just something you can change in your settings here. And this is called batch fading, okay? I might as well show you one more little fading thing while we're doing these bonuses. So let's pretend we want to edit this one kick here, okay? Let's just have a look at this kick in general. What I can do is highlight a part and just click, not Command F, but just F itself, and it's going to put a fade, okay? Let's fade this beginning here. I'm just going to click F, okay? I'm in grid mode. I can change to slip mode, right? And just fade this piece. Kind of cool, right? So that's just using F. Command F will do batch fade. All right, so as we wrap up this video, I want to thank you guys for watching this today. I know these tips are going to be super, super valuable for you and save you a ton of time. Write down the key commands, start implementing them right away, and you'll be flying through Pro Tools in no time. I want to remind you guys that if you liked the video, make sure to click that like button and subscribe. That'll help out this channel. Make sure you click the bell notification too so you don't miss our upcoming videos because I guarantee you there's amazing stuff on the way that you don't want to miss. Would love it if you dropped a comment too, and don't forget to check out the link in the description where you can download the Ultimate Home Studio Setup Guide for Beginners, which breaks down exactly how a home studio works, how it's all wired up and connected, and exactly what you need to start making professional sounding recordings at home. Don't forget to go download that now. It's a small ebook that I packed so much value into, and it's all for free. I know you're going to love it. Don't forget to download that, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.